Campaigns of misinformation against political enemies are not new. In 2013, former COSATU General Secretary Vavi and other prominent politicians were accused of trying to topple the government. The report named Vavi, Cyril Ramaphosa, Tokyo Sekhwale as part of that conspiracy. But what recourse, if any, is there? For more on this, we're joined by SAFTU's General Secretary Vavi. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, maybe first thing to ask is, why should these reports be linked, to, the involvement? Why should there be an involvement? Why do you think there's an involvement of state security agencies in the Cyril Ramaphosa matter?
No, I have no doubt that this is them at play. Having been a victim of these shenanigans myself, some 2013 and even before, I know now the modus operandi of these guys. When they go for this cutthroat politics, scorched earth literally, they leave no stone unturned and they go full blast. And the aim is always to discredit, create doubt, isolate before they go for the kill. And they have succeeded in so many instances, but in some instances they just failed. I mean, there are so many people that have been put up there as being spies of the America on a regime change agenda. People have survived that, and I think that a lot of people are no longer taking this nonsense serious.
But one would imagine, or would have thought, that they would use some truths or elements of the truth. Mm-hmm. And what has been your experience and the experience of those you're saying were also targeted?
Well, they use something to deal with to create a perception, a negative perception that they can then use in the political structures of the organization to go for a kill. In my case, they accused me of engineering the divisions in the trade union movement. They created an impression of this very powerful, almost institution in a person of myself to create stories that I was in the pay of the Americans to topple the ANC and cause regime changes, not only in South Africa, but everywhere else. They associated me with the Marikana massacre, and they said that I engineered the strike. Of course, they would have known that I've been there in Marikana before that strike and to try and resolve the dispute. They knew that I have very strong links with the civil society, so they say all civil society are directed by me, as directed by the Americans, to create havoc in South Africa. And they accuse me of working with the judges in the Constitutional Court and elsewhere to protect friends of mine. Julius Malema was mentioned, and Cyril Ramaphosa, now a victim of this thing again, and Mweli Zimbegi, and everybody else, Tokyo Sekhwale, as we were saying. Everybody that they don't like, they find a way of bringing him into this fake intelligence report.
Now, you approach the Inspector General of Intelligence. Do you get any joy?
Nothing. We wrote a letter to the Minister of Intelligence, never officially responded to us, and that was Yabonga Cwele at the time. We wrote and forced a meeting with the then Inspector General, Faith Khadebe, who said, look, I'm taking it up, I'm investigating. We asked him to investigate three things. One, was it true that my communications were tapped? Secondly, was it true that, or why did the acting head of crime intelligence come to me and tell me nonsensical stories of a plot by some Iranian intelligence to assassinate or poison me? And thirdly, we wanted them to investigate the sources of this so-called intelligence on me. Months thereafter, she came back to say, just one paragraph. We've checked on whether you are being tapped, your communications are being listened to. We can't find evidence. Two, the minister is denying that this report originates from them. The intelligence are denying it. And thirdly, the fellow who circulated the story that there was a plot to assassinate you was some trainee intelligence in Cape Town who was trying to make a name for himself. End of story.
So you reckon nothing will come out of this either?
I think nothing is going to happen. The best that you can get is what Dikgang Moseneke and Thuli Madonsela received. A lousy apology, but the damage has been done.
So Vavi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, he is, of course, SAFTU's General Secretary, himself a victim of what he regards as, plots that involved the very security agencies that are supposed to protect South Africans. Reckoning, this one will go like others before. Top stories on Newsnight is what we are coming to next.